You're in the Business Insurance Zone with me, Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Backroom Technician. This week on The Biz, the video sales soap opera series. And on today's show, business campaigns to Hispanics and women with special co-host and co-creator of Selling Technologies, Jerry Marinardi.
When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Well, welcome everyone to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm your host, Steve Savant, and we're broadcasting to a nationwide audience of financial advisors right here in Fountain Hills, Arizona, home of America's largest fountain. With us today for Selling Technologies expert and videographer extraordinaire, Jerry Marinardi. Hey, Jerry.
Thank you, Steve.
Jerry, I love this stuff, and we've been talking all this week. If you've missed any of our shows this week, go out. Every show, we showed a clip per segment of what business killers can do for you. And it's so huge because we're looking for ways to make our practice look distinct against our competitors. And video is absolutely where it's at. And the consumer watches it. If you see the hits on YouTube alone, on Vimeo, the higher videographer site, these numbers are astronomical. Listen, I'm pretty pithy in the way I write. I'm a pretty good blogger. It's nothing compared to video. I mean, you can get hits for white papers all you want, but about 1/2 of the producers are watching this show are reading white paper technology. I mean, it's just too big, it's too deep, it's MBA, the high voltage vocabulary. Who's reading that to their client? Nobody.
Well,
Now,
I hope not.
I heard you. I hope not either, because you're probably not selling. But I want to talk about this one thing. It's really a centerpiece. I've heard you say it several times. When you're talking about your videos, it's creating a feeling, a buzz on emotions. But you use this phrase, emotionally dense.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
The way the videos are constructed, we embed different levels of emotional triggers into the video. So let's face it, the people nowadays that are watching video are pretty sophisticated consumers of what looks real. Mm-hmm. So we use high production value, and then we embed in the video a lot of emotional triggers at different levels, because that is what is going to stick to the consumer and actually motivate them to want to move forward with at least getting more substantive information around the topic.
Really, when you think about how the brain works, triggering emotions and feelings is 10 times higher than A plus B equals C. I mean, when you think about it, that's what drives.
Well, and again, think about the area of the brain that makes decisions, where the emotions are centered, has no language. There's no language associated with it. So when you go in and you say, I made that purchase because it just feels right, that's what we're talking about here, is taking a financial services issue and having it bypass the area of the brain that it lives in language and have it go right to the emotion.
I think it's interesting that we're in these segment today, we're talking about campaigns to Hispanics and campaigns to women. And in our first video clip, we're actually combining this both together. We're using Hispanic female business owners, and we put subtitles, Espanol subtitles at the clip, which is huge because I don't know of anybody that's writing blogs, video articles, or much less video, and putting it at least at the minimum of using Spanish subtitles on this. How big is this for our evangelism into the biggest demographic growing areas, Hispanic business owners, female, and in this case, both?
Yes, and I think, again, looking at the changing demographics in the U.S., I mean, we really need to, as an industry, be cognizant and stay ahead of those curves, and that's what we've tried to do with our video.
I want you to watch this clip of 2 Hispanic female business owners about estate planning.
How are your children doing?
They're great. Working with you is providing me more flexibility with my schedule, and I can meet their needs better than ever before. I really like it, and the kids like it too.
Sorry I'm late, Maria. Putting out one of those legal brush fires. Hi, Louisa.
Hello, George.
Oh, good to see you again, too. Yeah. How's Carlos coping with semi-retirement?
Dad's fine. Spending all his time with his grandchildren, enjoying his time away from the business.
Well, I'm sure he's proud of how you've been running things, Maria. So what's going on?
That's what Luisa and I have been trying to piece together. We decided to take a close look at what formal documents exist, just in case something happens to Dad.
Problem is, we haven't really found much.
Well, that's because there's not much to be found. Whatever's in Carlos's mind has never been transferred to paper.
Why is that, George? I mean, doesn't that leave the family and the business exposed to a worst-case scenario if something happens to Dad?
You know your father, Maria. He could be tough to counsel sometimes. A self-made man, built a highly successful company, supported his family. All of his children graduated from some of the best universities in the country, and, well, he's accomplished a lot on his own.
He's been a great dad. However, it's the future that we need to focus on today. George, did you ever suggest to Dad the importance of a succession or estate plan to protect what he's worked so hard to build?
Well, of course. But when he asked you, his own daughter, to come in to run things, he didn't think any formal documents were necessary, contrary to my counsel.
I don't believe he's thinking of the impact on this company and my entire family if something happens to him.
Well, the value of the company could drop with the loss of your father because he's still the majority owner. I don't know what legal issues, if any, your brothers and sisters might raise, but there could be some confusion here about your status within the company without a formal succession plan in place.
Not to mention a huge tax liability that could destroy the company if Carlos has a heart attack or something.
Well, she's right. Several things could happen. And
So the bottom line here is that my mother, my brothers and sisters, my position with the company, and the future of the company itself is totally unprotected if something happens to Dad?
well, that's putting it rather bluntly, Maria, but hey, I've tried to get through to him, but you know your father as well as I do, Maria. He can be a very stubborn man at times.
The Spanish subtitles make this video great for Hispanic campaigns.
Well, I think, again, it addresses that market. It also addresses the fact that female business owners tend to be more proactive with their planning and how they deal with their business. So I think we've hit at least all those hot buttons.
I think you have. Hey, when we come back from this break, we're going to continue to talk about the business niche markets of Hispanics and women and watch another powerful video. And don't forget, you can go out to Business Killers and try it absolutely free at www.businesskillers.com/thebiz.
You're listening to the insurance industry's #1 resource for products, planning ideas, carrier information, and interviews you can use. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Did you know the average 401k runs out of money just 7 to 8 years into retirement? Time Magazine, the Wall Street Journal, and many other publications have warned of the difficulty of saving with a 401k. But what if there was a way to create tax-free lifetime retirement income with no stock market risk? Good news, there is.
You know, living in fear of the next market dive is not the way I want to live my life.
Why would I go out there and take on risk when I don't need to?
I have a lot less stress knowing I can't lose any more of my retirement savings in the stock market.
Call now to receive your free, no-obligation analysis of what this retirement vehicle could do for you, a comparison to your current retirement plan, and a free video that explains this exciting opportunity. Start planning a retirement you can enjoy instead of worrying about future tax increases and stock market losses. Creating income that will last your entire life is the most important thing you'll ever do. Take control of your future. Call now for your free analysis, comparison, and video.
Well, welcome back to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm Steve Savant with Jerry Marianardi. And remember, you can order today's materials at thebiz.tv. And while you're out there, click on the backroom technician icon, which is right on the Biz blog where I blog, for a 30-day free trial for the best needs analysis and educational material that addresses almost every financial planning scenario. And just a heads up before moving forward with anything that you hear in our show, although we're in video land right now, so maybe we're okay. Always consult your tax advisor and legal counsel, as well as your broker-dealer compliance officer if you're FINRA licensed. We're in the middle of talking about business campaigns to Hispanics, business campaigns to women, and sometimes a combination of both. I love that we've moved into the realm of we're putting subtitles on this. We're trying to evangelize to the biggest block, demographic minority block in the United States. And I mean, this is huge that you guys have, you're the first people I think that really went out of their way and you're on the vanguard of this issue.
Yeah, we have built into the Business Killers platform is an entire version with Spanish subtitles.
So you have a whole Business Killer English, and Spanish.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, well that's huge. I thought it was just a couple videos. No, it's all, so either way.
Yes, that's correct.
I love that because when you've taken on, I know we have business killers, and I saw that there was males involved in that. Then you did a whole version of business killers from a female perspective before the male died.
Yes.
I like that because it was kind of like there's still time to make a move here. There's still time to plan. Get ahead of the curve on this.
Exactly. And again, the female business owner tends to be more proactive and more motherly, if you will, with regard to how they treat their own employees. And you know, forget about the family. I mean, you know that the female is going to look out for the best benefit of the family members, but also their employees.
There's a huge maternal quality here that I see happening. I mean, you have some of the sharpest gals running the show right now. I mean, dominant. And we're just looking at that gal from Yahoo. I mean, she's just, look at all the things she's doing right now. But really, that you cannot take away the impact of that maternal angle. I mean, you're talking about the feminine mystique in a business scenario. And right now, when you think about the transfer of businesses, it's all going towards women. And baby boomer daughters are taking care of their mothers in LTC facilities because dad's no longer there. So if we don't learn how to address these kind of issues in the two biggest markets, the Hispanic market and the women market, I think we're going to be cut out of the show.
Oh, it's again, from the statistics prove that from a planner standpoint, if you are not addressing and engaging with the female as part of the marriage unit, you're 70 to 75% going to lose that female client when the husband either gets divorced or passes away.
I kind of like that some of these actresses in here really appreciated what we were doing, what you guys were doing. And notice I'm saying we already. I really appreciate it because, you know, they're in there reading these scripts and they're saying, this is a good thing that you're doing. You're addressing these ideas.
Yes, and we are continuing to grow that video library in the Amanda system, and we're definitely targeting the female as the person who's going to be the recipient of the majority of the $10 trillion that's coming their way.
There's no doubt about it. I hope you got your game on this, and you know, we're going to have to take a whole new course called corporate courtship just to figure out how to do this.
Good term.
I love it. It's going to be huge. I want you to watch this next video clip. It's called, we call it kind of for lack of a better word, it really focuses on female contractors, and I think you're going to really appreciate this from a blue collar point of view.
Bobby, did you talk to Jim at the bank?
Yeah, he said that we're going to talk about the new equipment and meet next Tuesday afternoon.
No good. He's got to meet us first thing in the morning, otherwise it's going to kill our day.
Yeah, you're right. All right, I'll give him a call, tell him that he's got to meet us here at 6 a.m. But don't worry, you know, he'll be here. We're good customers.
Hey, you think Dad would believe that his company still needs more equipment?
Dad, how about Grandpa Blue? I mean, one wheelbarrow to all this?
Hey, and speaking about money, you know, you and I need to figure out how to help Louie retire. Big Brother wants out, and you know where all our cash is.
I know. So, when are we going to meet about this? I mean, there's not enough hours in the day.
Well, we have to figure out a buyout or something. And we better do it while the company is growing. Maybe between our 401k and profit-sharing plan, Louie can take out the cash he needs.
You realize we're in over our head here? I mean, we don't know the first thing about any of this crap.
Bobby, who can we trust to handle this?
I don't know. I don't have a clue, but we better find somebody fast, because if we don't, this is going to come back and bite us.
All right, I'll talk to Louie. We'll get together at my house one night and hash it out. I gotta go pick up the bond before going to the Wilshire job site.
Okay. Hey, Sandy. Maybe we should give Louie the old spreader. We'll call it even.
Very bright. You know, this is serious business, bro. Down the line, it's gonna affect you and me.
I love how the sister takes control of this and basically tells her brother, heads up, this is coming.
Exactly. You know, it just once again shows the dominance of the female in business and how we need to be cognizant of that and be addressing that segment of the market.
I love this. This is targeting what we know is coming, and we're getting ahead of the curve, not only by our thinking and our way we approach things, but we're doing it on video. Well, that's our show for today. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or email me, steve@thebiz.tv. That's the Buzz on the Biz for today. You've been in the zone, the Business Insurance Zone.
You're listening to the insurance industry's #1 resource for products, planning ideas, carrier information, and interviews you can use. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.